For the Foundation for State Legislatures, the mission to help lawmakers confront and solve the critical issues of our time is a marathon and not a sprint. During the 2013-14 fiscal year, the Foundation continued on its pathway to success by championing innovative new initiatives, advancing thriving programs, and preserving traditional efforts to strengthen state legislatures. One of the key markers for the Foundation during the year was its Emerging Leaders Meeting, held on the Nike campus in Beaverton, Oregon. The meeting attracted a record number of legislators who learned lessons from military leaders, successful business entrepreneurs, legislative experts, and Nike communicators.
Strengthening state legislatures is really a responsibility for all of us, whether we're in the public or the private sector. And NCSL provides that type of leadership for policymakers to turn to learn about issues and to interact with both public and private sector folks from all across the country.
The Path Forward was the theme for a December meeting in Tucson, Arizona, where more than 35 leaders took part in a program focusing on current issues, the economy, state budgets, and leadership skills. The Foundation supported an invitation from the Scottish Parliament and sponsored the NCSL Symposium for Legislative Leaders in Edinburgh. Featuring an international lineup of speakers and sessions held in the historic Scottish Parliament building, the meeting drew an impressive list of Senate leaders and House speakers.
It was a great experience. I think one of the things that we really discovered is that whether you're a state legislative leader or you're a leader somewhere else around the globe, we're all facing the same kinds of issues.
The continued support of the Legislative Staff Management Institute was held in Sacramento, with staff from several legislatures attending the Premier Training Institute. Attendees acquired skills and insights to become better managers and more effective at their jobs.
NCSL is one of the only organizations that brings in the research and the legislative support staff for their own agenda. And often you're able to meet them, find inroads to conversations, find support for your conversation through the staff sections of NCSL.
Several exciting partnerships were supported, and the Foundation launched other activities to strengthen the first branch of government.
The relationship between NCSL legislators and the private sectors, it's incredibly important. They help sponsor many of the things that we're able to do so that we can learn more about specific issues. And I will continue to say that we need to rely on the expertise of people who know these issues so that we don't have to start over when we're looking at an issue.
3 public-private partnerships were funded this year, such as the Jobs and Innovation Partnership, held in Austin, Texas. Other partnerships this year included leveraging IT to strengthen government and unmanned aircraft systems.
The value of those partnerships is bringing together private sector and elected officials and staff to discuss a narrower scope of issues that these folks care about.
NCSL's Military Task Force received support this year for a meeting in December 2013 in conjunction with the NCSL Fall Forum. Task Force members visiting soldiers at Walter Reed Hospital discussed policy options to help veterans find jobs when they return. The Foundation sponsored more than 50 webinars and e-learning opportunities for legislators and staff. Topics included bill drafting, economic development, education, energy, healthcare, hunger, professional development, taxes, transportation, and training on NCSL's 50 states.
I think the Foundation's support is critical to providing e-learning and webinar opportunities to legislative staff. Webinars and e-learning opportunities are a way to get programs and services that benefit you, give you training and education to help you do your job better as a legislative staffer.
The Foundation's support of the NCSL resulted in a redesigned website that is easier to navigate and responsive to smartphone viewing.
I think the redesigned website has been a tremendous boost for NCSL. I know that it's easier to navigate that website now. I think the process by which they went about trying to do this was very inclusive and very collaborative.
The Center for Ethics in Government provided training and spoke at national and local conferences, provided internal training for NCSL, and published a paper, Ethics Reform in the States.
NCSL's Ethics Center is the only place where a legislator or a staff member can go to find out what other states are doing on 39 different topics of ethics laws. Our main focus during this year was really on providing a broad spectrum of ethics trainings. We want to let states know that we not only go out and do value-based ethics for legislators, but we also can do it for legislative staff.
The Women's Legislative Network surveyed its membership and adopted a membership engagement plan as it prepares to celebrate its 30th anniversary in 2015. The plan includes the use of focused communication tools, better defined member benefits, and strong programming. The reason the Foundation has the endurance to fund these activities is due to the generous support it receives from its partners.
I think NCSL has continued to build on its reputation, its solid reputation over the years, and I think you can see that by the attendance at their annual meeting in addition to their ancillary meetings, and you can also see that by the leadership of the state legislatures that are becoming more and more involved with NCSL.
This year, the Foundation raised a record $2.1 million in contributions. Growth was particularly high this year in the Platinum category, as it earned a 30% growth during the fiscal year, and nearly 500% growth since its start in 2008.
You have a lot of interaction with not just policymakers, but staff at the state legislative level. That can be very, very important in terms of your understanding of where policy issues are going in the states.
One of the Foundation's strengths is the continuing support it receives from its partners. Sponsors benefit from engaged policy discussions and participation in key NCSL activities. More than 20 companies have contributed to the Foundation for 20 years, including AT&T, which has contributed every year since 1985.
When you look around at other organizations that the private sector can engage in at the state level, there's none that really equal what NCSL has done and continues to do in terms of not just growth, but focus and depth and professionalism that they afford the members both in the public sector as well as the private sector.
As the National Conference of State Legislatures celebrates its 40 years of service to the nation, the Foundation looks forward to strengthening its core programs and supporting innovative activities for the future.
The NCSL Foundation makes us stronger as legislators and makes the institution stronger because they educate us. They make the work that we do smarter.
This marathon still has hills and challenges, but the support the Foundation receives and the training it provides will lead to a successful run. The Foundation thanks everyone for its support this year and looks forward to another successful year of supporting America's state legislatures.